The Matrix movie depicts a dystopian future in which reality as perceived by most humans is actually a simulated reality called the Matrix, created by sentient machines to subdue the human population, while their body's heat and electrical activity are used as an energy source. Computer programmer Neo learns this truth and is drawn into a rebellion against the machines. Now, the Matrix I want to discuss with you has to do with neurological programming of your body. If you are raised never having the feeling of glutes, how do you know that something is missing? If you are an insect whose life cycle only lasts 3 seasons, and I tell you there are 4 seasons in a year, how do you know I'm telling the truth? So what is interesting is when showing a movement such as a single leg jump or unilateral jump to a quad dominant people, they have a complete different understanding than someone who's glutes dominant. The most frequently asked question from a quad dominant person is, that seems to always be, that must be a heel strike, right? So what's happening here is that when they stand, when the quad dominant people stand in the neutral position, the weight is on the heels. The heels play a very important role in the shoe of quad dominant people, whereas the role of the heel is minimum to the glute dominant person. Now there's no debate in the fitness world that the elite athletes are glutes dominant. We know this a long time ago, but what is hotly debated is how to train for glutes dominance. Is it even possible to become glutes dominant if you are not born that way? My research shows it is 100% doable, but not through conventional means, not through the CSCS or the weightlifting regimen. The weightlifting system and knowledge is very complete. It is very developed, but nature does not require lifting weights to be glutes dominant. I got it through reverse engineering. Finding the pattern, finding the common denominator. The answer lies in the LeBron James foot, where mainstream doctors are calling it a catastrophe, a disaster, and needs medical help. Where I'm saying the exact opposite based on empirical evidence and results. Again, why you should listen to me? Because we have a D1 basketball athlete from this training system and we're not done. If you are wondering why we train this way, there's a theory that I developed. First, you have to understand the foot is moldable, morphable, and deformable. You can't disagree with me here, and if you do, we cannot work together. The foot is a structure that can change its shape. The foot is very plastic, and just like regular plastic container box that you buy from the supermarket to prep your meals, if you bend it one way for a brief moment, you notice it snaps back. However, if you consistently apply the same pressure and force, it would morph and change its shape for good. And that is the theory behind the Hyperarch Metamorphosis. A caterpillar cannot foresee itself becoming a butterfly. It goes through 4 stages from egg to caterpillar to chrysalis, then finally butterfly. There are currently 4 stages I have discovered of Hyperarch Metamorphosis as well. I'm sure there are more stages to be seen, but I want to talk about the 4 stages or levels. At stage 1, the only thing that you can probably see is ankle locking. The ankle locks up naturally. Some people will see their anterior tibia tendon pop out, which is good, but some people don't. That's okay. Due to the difference in foot, some people have hard time seeing it. In any case, the ankle should lock up completely, meaning it becomes a single unit of your lower leg and shin. Most people who are quad dominant with soft glutes start in this stage. At this stage, the level of basketball is poor. Stage 2, sensation is starting to be felt in the glutes. There are moments you could feel some tingling sensation when you put tension in the foot, but it's not consistent. At this stage, because the mechanism is holistic, it is trying to restructure your body through the fascia system. Stage 3, a strong contraction can be felt in the glutes when tension is applied to the feet. At this stage, you can just focus on your feet and consistently knock down shots. Because your foot has not done morphing and is not in the optimal hyperarch mode, driving to the basket could still be effort intensive because you're not yet glutes dominant. When you drive it in, it still takes a lot of energy out of you. I see most people around this stage, they just like to shoot because they can score easily from outside. Also, they get a special type of cue because once they felt their glutes engage, they kind of recognize that and then they release the shot. The shot goes in, that acts like a reward system. So you have a cue in the body and all you have to do is keep replicating that sensation. Then finally you have the stage 4. Not only contraction is made to the glutes, but connection is made from abs to the glutes as well. Meaning your abs start to go through the same metamorphosis as your glutes, and then you start to be able to connect the two. However, the neurological metamorphosis is not done. In fact, it accelerates at this stage. What is linking the foot to the glutes, you might ask? It is fascia. The fascia is the equivalent of dark matter in physics. It is everywhere in the body, like dark matter is everywhere in the universe. But scientists and physicists don't know how it works yet. This is not just a theory. We are already in the application phase. We already have a divisional 1 athlete. We learn by doing. You can't learn how to ride a bike by reading a book. You have to actually do it. You can't see you are in a matrix until you get unplugged. You cannot see the world is round until you go to outer space. You have to take risks. If you're interested in winning in science, hate losing, and don't want to play with chronic pain, make sure to subscribe. Spread the message. Once you go Hyperarch, you'll be pain-free, dominant, and confident, and you will never want to go back. Let the morphing begin.